I got there about a week before Jill got there, and when I got there, they had a welcome ceremony for me. I was going around to the kids with the host family that hosted us there. The kids just would back away from me so fast because they were scared. They had no idea why are these people here. And then by the end, they were getting in bed with us watching TV. So
one little boy would cry and run away and scream and hide every time he saw us until the very last week he sat on Jess's lap.
He was sitting on my lap and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was holding him. So it wasn't just an internship to teach and to work with the teachers on how to create a hands-on learning environment and to work with the students who don't understand repetition. It was so much more. It was cultural immersion. It was becoming family with these people, basically. Living with them for two months doesn't seem like a long time, but when me and Jill are the only ones who know each other, and you get close with the people that you're surrounded with all the time.
Yeah, I want you to just talk about some of those other little anecdotes. Say something about the village. Okay.
Oh, one time we went away for the weekend. We went to the city, and we came back, and I went to put my laptop in my backpack, which I had left in the village, and my backpack started moving on its own. So I scream, and Jess jumps on the bed, and then we throw my backpack out the door, and a lizard like this big hops out of my backpack.
We were in the middle of nowhere.
We were
there
on
were
the
mud
beach.
huts with straw roofs. To get your water, you had to go to the spigot in the middle of the village.
For people who did have electricity, the electricity went out all the time.
It was not reliable at all. The school itself was a concrete building, really long concrete building, with walls that had a chalkboard on one side. There's no doors. It was open, and
So one of the problems that the teachers kept talking about was since there were no doors, they couldn't keep anything in the classroom because people would come and steal things. So we couldn't hang up art or anything like that, which was a problem. But they all had desks and chairs.
Yeah, another problem was the roofs are metal. Some parts of them have holes in them, so either when we were there during the wet season, so when it rained, water would come into the classroom and they'll be raining so hard that you couldn't hear each other if you were sitting this close.
Yeah,
so school would have to be
so
canceled
loud on the tin roof.
So it was a lot of different things that we would have to adapt to that would never happen in an American school. You would never have not have doors on your classrooms or not have to cancel school because it was raining. So it was interesting to be put in an environment that we were had no idea what was coming our way. We were completely uncomfortable with and had to adapt to. And I feel like we did an okay job with it.
Yeah, I think so.
At some points it was really hard.
Yes.
But
it was more fun than anything else, I think.
What was the name of your village?
Well,
I'll give the name of the village.
It's spelled Kaponganor, but the way it's pronounced is Bono. But even the way we say it isn't right.
Yeah, because we would be 2 villages over, and they would be which is a 10-minute walk, and they would be where are you staying? We're Bono. They're where?
Because it's a B-A-U sound, but it's really fast. It's something we don't have in English, but they have in
their language. And their
Dengbi.
Oh, their language is Dengbi. That's the name of it.
Yeah, it's in the eastern region of Ghana, and about 45 minutes to an hour from Accra, would you say?
Not by Chocho.
Well, we would go to the city every weekend.
It's 2.5, 3 hours by
3 hours, I think it took us. We had to take 2 buses, which were called Trotros, and we met some pretty interesting characters. And then we had to take 2 taxis. 3 taxis. So it took us 3 hours.
And a Chocho is, because you guys don't know what a Chocho is, right? It's an old VW van that there's their buses, but they're falling apart. There's people packed in them.
We
There's
ripped our bags, our clothes.
You get dirty in them. One time we had to bring a goat on one.
Yes, we had to bring a goat, and they charged us. It was $1 for each of us, or 1 CD for each of us, but 2 CDs for the goat.
So, just another example of having to be immersed in the culture. Like, we didn't have someone driving us back and forth from our car to the village every week. We did have people tell us how to do it and come with us the first couple of times.
Yes.
But then after that, it wasn't hard at all. We learned what we were supposed to do, how much we were supposed to be charged, and we were fine. Anyone else have any questions?
How old were the kids that you worked with?
That's another tough question. Here, like in America, you start at school at a certain age. In the village, since it's so rural, some kids don't start school till really later. I think my oldest was, I had a 25-year-old man in my class 3, which is grade 3. And so it really depends. And then I had children as young as 8 also. So it was a mix, a very big mix. And whenever we had like questions, like, because that's like, why would you not go to school until then? Like, it's a question we'd have. There was 2 women who would cook for us. We'd hang out with that night. We'd always go to during the day if we had problems. Once we got like close enough to them, we felt comfortable asking them questions. And they told us that a lot of people, they don't value education there like we do. It's not a big thing for them, especially in these rural villages. So they won't go to school when they're young. And then they'll realize when they're older, if they have that junior high school diploma, they can make more money in any job. And also a lot of them want to learn English so they don't get cheated in business deals. So that's what we were told when I was. Oh, it's a very poor, very, very poor village. And a lot of times parents and grandparents will make their children go sell things during the day instead of going to school because they don't have money.
Most of our kids live with family members like aunts and uncles or grandparents because their parents were in different regions or in different countries in West Africa making money. Most of the time, what happened was the parents would leave and say, "Mom, you take care of my kid, and I'm going to send money," but then the parents would never send money. But they didn't have to pay for books or anything like that. They did have to pay for uniforms and pencils. So a lot of kids, yeah.
They
So a
used to
lot
have
of
to pay for
kids
their
have,
notebooks.
like, in kindergarten, a lot of kids had uniforms that would clearly fit them all the way through 6th grade. Other times, they would just be so rattered and tattered that like it wouldn't even look like a uniform anymore. But we brought duct tape and fixed some of those up. Yeah, we fixed some shoes too.
Any other questions?
So if someone is going, because we're hoping to have this internship extended, as you know, to other students, it's a for credit course. What would you think, what would you advise them to be prepared for this experience?
You
What
have
are some of the
to
things that you would advise them?
leave all expectations on the plane. Because we went not knowing what was going to happen at all. And for me, some of my expectations got in the way, but I didn't really have that many of them. So if you go with a totally 100% open mind, it will be a lot easier to adjust.
Yeah, what I was going to say is go with a completely open mind because you don't know what's going to happen day to day. I went with all of my lesson plans in my little binder, all separated by section, and I get there and I throw them out the window. I'm like, well, these aren't going to work. Like, I need to make completely new lesson plans for each class I'm working with. The teachers were really good about giving us their books so we can like make lesson plans, but I'd say just go with a completely open mind. Be open to anything. Like, they'll invite you to eat their food. Don't say no to them. Just do it. Like, they'll invite you to play a game. They'll try to teach you this. Like, just go for it. Like, when else are you going to have the opportunity to do it? You're never going to know until you try. So